Yo, yo, yo. What is up? Happy Tuesday, everybody. If you celebrate it, I hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas. I had an amazing one, and it's always nice to be back after some time off. So I'm ready to get going. Pinky's not available today, so we'll be doing day 10 of Alan Wake 2. If you haven't seen the title of the stream yet, so it'll be video gaming news, and then Alan Wake 2, day 10. So I think we're actually getting kind of relatively close to the end of Alan Wake 2. I'm not positive, but it feels that way to me. It feels like we're getting kind of close to the end there. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, but yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, what's up, buddy? How you doing, dude? It's all part of that, like, trying to enhance community engagement, you know? So it's fun, dude. Yeah, I think it's kind of funny, like, whenever people that have been part of the platform for a long time see it, and it's like, man, I've had streaks way longer than that, you know? But I think at least they're doing stuff to try and continue to. Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I got it. Okay. Yeah, it's that shot, baby. Yeah. But I mean, you know, they're doing things to increase engagement and get people some time in the spotlight and stuff. You know, that's cool, dude. I dig it. Yeah, I dig it. It's cool. It works. You know, I'm about it. I'm with it, dude. I'm with it. What's up, man? How are your holidays, dude, so far? Have they been all right? Did you end up getting to do any of your plans? Like, I know you were talking about maybe getting to go do some stuff, right? Trying to plan to do some stuff. Let me know, man. Let me know. It's good to see you. Good, chill. Not yet. Okay, work. Yeah, mine have been pretty good too. We were doing some traveling over the past few days, so it was nice to be with family, seeing some friends. Nice, dude. Yeah, that was us. We were seeing friends and family and stuff, and it was nice. It's always good to be home, though, you know. Like, we got home yesterday, and yeah, it was nice to just like chill out, dude. Like, get settled in. Actually get to do our own gift giving and stuff like that here at the house and stuff, you know, and instead of being on the go and feeling kind of, you know, hectic and rushed with the holidays and stuff, just get to enjoy the end of it, just the family and everything. It's good to see family and friends, it really is. And we had a great time. Travel just always feels, you know, for me anyways, travel just always feels it ends up feeling exhausting, you know, to me, as opposed to just being able to like spend the holiday at the house to kind of like relax. Yeah, it was great with the family, dude. Yeah. You know, our families are just. I'm married into an amazing family too, and they spoil the crap out of me and the kids and obviously the wife and everything, and then my family always does a lot, sends us a lot of stuff and everything too. So I'm a fortunate individual, dude. I really am. Yeah. So got a bunch of check this out, dude. Check out, the wife got me. We got some Bob Ross, dude. Check that out, dog. Flipping Bob Ross apple sours, dude. I got all kinds of crazy stuff, dude. I got all kinds of good. Check the best gift ever, dude. Check this out. You ever seen this bad boy? Why get a bidet whenever you can have the Roto wipe, dog? The Roto one. Who needs a bidet when you can just get a brush that just straight up does work for you, baby. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. Look, look, this is so funny, dog. This is so funny. It's promoted as like soft touch. With soft touch bristles, dude. And look, they actually show like, what is it? There's like peeling potatoes with it over the toilet. And like polishing their nails with it and stuff. Bro, I was dying, dude. I was dying. My wife and kids actually gave that to me as a gift yesterday, bro. I was rolling. I'd never seen it. I was rolling, dog. I was like, what is this? What's funny is that it was heavy too, and I was like, oh dude, this is a legitimate gag gift. Like, it's legit, you know? But then I opened it and there was like a gift card and some like trail mixes and stuff in there. So it was just the box. But bro, I was losing it. That was so flippin' funny, man. Yeah, it's good to see you, buddy. It's good to see you. It's good to see everybody, dude. It's always good to be back after like days off. Sorry. Lot of talking, lot of laughing and stuff, dude, over the past few days, so my throat's a little bit scratchy. So I didn't think I was going to take any time off for the New Year's, but I actually am going to take New Year's Day off. We talked as a family, and the wife has that day off, and we're actually going to do some stuff instead. So she doesn't normally get a lot of days off or anything, and so just so everybody's aware, and I'll put it out there on the Discord and on Twitter and stuff too. But so on the 1st, I am going to take the 1st off. I didn't think I was going to. I thought I was going to just kind of stream through it, because I don't normally like party or anything for New Year's. It's never been a big thing for me. Yeah, just the day. I'll still stream New Year's Eve. Yeah, still stream New Year's Eve. It'll be a normal stream. Probably. I don't expect us to be needing to end early or anything. We'll be spending that evening with some friends and family, but we've never been ones to really like make a big deal about it, like party down, stay up way late or anything. So that's why I was like, well, I'll probably just stream that day too, because it won't be a big deal. But the wife has that day off, and so we're gonna do some family stuff instead, you know, just to celebrate the New Year and stuff. So myself, my wife, and the kids and stuff. So it won't be a matter of not being able to get up and stream. It's more a matter of trying to just celebrate the New Year with you know, the immediate family here. So but I was telling people that I didn't think I was going to take time off, so I've got to kind of backtrack off that statement, and I do apologize for it. So New Year's Day I will not have the stream up, so but I'll just be that day, just the 1st. That is delicious. All right, man, it's good to see everybody. Good to see you, Psych. So you still planning on getting some like travels in and stuff for the holidays, man? Going skiing and everything? Didn't you say you were trying to get some skiing in or something? Let's go ahead and get into this video gaming news segment, man. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you've had great holidays so far. Let's go get in here, man, and see what we got. Yo, hey, dude, and also, let me just say again, dude. Psych, the generosity, dude, with all the gifty subs between, you know, the middle to the end of December here and everything was absolutely incredible, dog. Like, I mean, you know, just having you as a friend and you know, long time moderator and member of this community, and you know, that alone is a big deal to me. It means a lot to me, and you know, doing that kind of thing and going above and beyond, man, is just incredible, and I really appreciate it, buddy. So I just want to throw that back out there again, man. Lots of community support, man, from Psych. So if anybody got a sub, dude, and you haven't reached out to Psych yet to say thank you, he's been spreading a lot of holiday love, a lot of gifties and stuff. So, you know, throw a thank you Psych's way if you got a sub from Psych, man, and at least reciprocate that notion a little bit and say thanks if you find yourself getting a sub from Psych, please. Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. Hold on real quick. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yo. Look at Steam, Psych. Yo, there's, Steam winter sales going on, by the way. Steam specifically, you've got something else to look at there on Steam site. If you haven't been on there. Not a big deal, but just when you get a chance, buddy. They've got a lot of games on sale right now, and it's a really good time. A lot of platforms. Let's go ahead and talk about this too. Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition is free right now, guys. This game is free. They've already given away some bangers. These are 24-hour giveaways, man, on Epic. If you guys have not been grabbing these games, I cannot stress enough how, you know, important I think it is that people take advantage of these opportunities to get these magnificent games that Epic gives away right now during the holiday period on a 24-hour basis. We're like, dude, closing in on like halfway through this giveaway period. They've already given away a lot of these. Games. What they do? Ghostwire Tokyo, Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition, Art of Rally was one. What else did they have? Melvor Idol, DNF Duel. But you know, and to start it all off, they had the Destiny 2 Legacy Collection DLCs that were free. So there's definitely already been some very, very notable games. Obviously, Fallout 3's got some age under it at this point, but dude, that is an iconic game. And Ghostwire Tokyo from Tango, who deserves a lot of love for doing things like The Evil Within, then Ghostwire Tokyo, then Hi-Fi Rush, amazing developer, and then the Outer Worlds, the entire collection there, all the DLCs and everything, base game all in one shoot, man. People, yeah, for sure, Psych. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's not much, but you know. So I think people need to really be taking advantage of these free giveaways. I was trying very hard to make a note of this every single day in the news leading up to these holiday giveaways. You know, because Epic, if you're not aware, Epic does free giveaways every week. It's usually a 7-day period that you can get a free game or two. And then the next week, those games are no longer available, and they give away a new game or two for that following week. But during the holiday period, usually like the last half of December, they give away a different game every 24 hours for like a 2-week period, and it's the end of December. And they give away notable games. Great games. And if people aren't taking advantage of this in this expensive, you know, world that we all love so much, video games, if you're not taking advantage of this, man, you're just losing out, man. It's a no-brainer, really. Even if you're not a PC gamer, you could become one at some point, and it's free. Your account on Epic is free. It costs nothing but 2 minutes of your time to go fill out a couple of entries, boom, create your account, and you don't have to have the app. You can just do it through their website, whatever. So if you end up becoming a PC gamer in the future, even if you're not right now, you'll have a library of really good games to start playing when you do start playing PC games, you know. But it's totally a no-brainer for anybody that's currently a PC gamer, and for anybody that's going to go, well, I just don't. You know, anybody that's going to be stubborn about, I just don't want to have more games on another platform. If you think that, you know, this is going to be, you know, the last time we have another big platform come in that you're going to have to deal with having another library of games on, you're wrong. You just need to, you know, embrace the suck. It is what it is. And you're missing out. If that's the only reason you're not grabbing these games, you know, is because you're being a bit stubborn on that notion, then I have to say you're really missing out here. A lot of great games that are absolutely free that you should be taking advantage of. And this is one. This game only has 3 hours left. The Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition. This is all the DLC, the base game, everything. And you should be grabbing this. You have 3 hours left. You can see right here, it's all the DLC, the base game, everything. So, including the base game and all DLC, remastered masterpiece, absolute best version of the Outer Worlds. This is a game that came out in 2019, I think. And Obsidian, amazing developer as well. And this is supposed to be a banger of a game, man. I'm actually considering throwing this on our schedule coming up for 2024 because I haven't played it. I've been wanting to play it. I love Obsidian, and this would be a cool one for us to get on the schedule. No. Yo, you're okay, buddy. Yeah, no worries. It's really good to see you, buddy. Really good to see you. Do what you need to do, brother. No worries. Sorry Twitch is being funky. So, I'll get off of this little tangent here, I guess. But also know that Twitch has a bunch, I mean, on most platforms, whether it be PC, PlayStation Store, Nintendo's eStore, Xbox's eStore, you know, the GOG, you name it. All the platforms are having big winter sales right now, and wherever you prefer to play, whatever your platform of preference is, whatever, it's a solid time to get your hands on some discounted products, discounted software. So I don't know, peripherals, sometimes hardware, stuff like that. So if you've got a little bit of you know, you got some gift cards, or you've got a little bit of extra cash after the holidays and you've been looking for something specifically, or even if you're just kind of lost for what to play right now, you might go take a look at your preferred eShop and see if there's something that kind of piques your interest, okay? Good time to buy. Or get free stuff. Don't forget to get your free stuff. Whoa, really?
Step it up. Step it up.
Step it up. Step it up.
Step it up.
Yo, Soup, what up, dog? No! Oh, no. Yo, you should refund it. You should refund COD, dude. On that. What's up, buddy? How are your holidays? Happy holidays. How are your holidays? China, are we going to read this Bloomberg report? I don't think so. It's probably going to gatekeep us. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. So all that stuff we saw about China cracking down with the even heavier regulations on gaming, it was like a lot of it this time around had to do with how much people could spend on games, how much monetization could actually be incorporated into the mechanics of games, which was potentially going to affect games like Genshin Impact and things like that, depending on if developers were able to get the games sorted for different regions and stuff. But a lot of these developers that are based out of China were really going to get blasted with this. They've already been dealing with really rough regulations, and now it looks like the Chinese government is kind of backtracking on it, man, because their stocks just got obliterated which we had already seen was happening after that news. It's not called Mile High. It's called High Mile. I don't really know. I'm asking. It just seems like they would call it Mile High. But I don't know. It's a 1-minute plane mission. It's so hard. Kappa. Oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry, Soup. Yo, one second. Alright, apologies. Alright, let's see what we got. Nice, you got that, huh? Wait, what? GTA 5 leaks suggest 8 DLCs were scrapped? No wonder they're not getting anything done for any of their other games. If they've got 5 DLCs that got axed, wonder how far into the project development process they got with those. Let's take a look. Look, by the way, dude, I've got our timeline set for the 23rd through the 26th, so this should be covering like everything we potentially missed, hopefully, while I've been gone for my holiday break, okay? Yeah. Yeah, then they approved a ton of video games afterwards too, huh? Let's just put this up here. Man, kind of crazy. Dude, did you get anything good for Christmas or the holidays, man? Insight, you get anything notable, man? Are you stoked about anything? Gross. What? Online gaming firms to argue skill game played with money is still skill. What? Wait, what? So pay to win is skill? If one plays chess with money, chess does not become gambling, but remains a game of skill. This is the argument gaming firms will present in court, a set of source. It's adding gambling to the game. It absolutely is. Skills to pay the bills, to pay to win. Yeah. So this isn't exactly what I thought it was, but it's still gambling on a match. That would be the same thing as, like, take pro sports, for example. We'll read into this in a little bit, but take pro sports, for example. You know, most pro sports around the world prevent their rules behind anybody that plays the game from betting on the game, right? For good reason. You know, that's a huge conflict of interest. And it quite often will result in like, no, thanks, dude, don't do that to me. it will result in, you know, games being thrown and stuff like that, matches being thrown, and but I mean, there's a reason why you know, most people that participate in a sport are not allowed to gamble on the sport themselves, right? And look, I mean, if people think that money being placed on a match doesn't inherently introduce some other outside influences and pressures and stuff for maybe even the people that are playing the game, you're out of your mind. So it can influence, right? If they know about it. Yeah, I mean, I think every situation is going to be a little bit different, but as opposed to two people that are just playing competitively, there's no money on the line or whatever, you know, there's going to be a baseline like level of anxiety to do with it. And then if you introduce, you know, outside factors that could influence the pressures as well, that's going to maybe influence their ability to play depending on how people deal with pressure, right? Certain people buckle under pressure, different levels of pressure as it goes up. Other people thrive and do better. So it can change things. Absolutely. We'll talk about this a little bit. And we'll read that whole thing and see exactly what they're trying to get to there. God, I hate this website. It's so clickbaity, dude. But this seems legit, actually. Hacked console, some downloaded patches. Oh, Jesus. This brings up a kind of interesting notion, though, you know? We'll talk about that. Yeah. Dude, I've got so much food. So much food to eat while we game. Oh my god. Is this legit? 38-inch Asus monitor, lowest price ever right now? We'll take a peek. It's expensive. I knew it would be, but yo, Psych, how have the Habs been doing, dude? Dude, we vibing, bro. That's a flipping cut right there. The song's called Moving and Vibing, dude. Nice. Yo, what a great name. I love it. Oh, no way, dude. Starfield's fallen to mostly negative on Steam? No way. Really? Whoa! Oh, not all reviews, though. That's just recent reviews. Come on, man. But dude, that's a lot. Over the past 30 days, that's over 7,300 reviews at just 34% positive, which has greatly affected the overall review score for sure. Now let's talk about this. Now this is misleading because it doesn't say over the past month. It says has fallen to mostly negative on Steam, which leads you to believe that is for the like all-time ratings. That's not true. It's mixed. We'll talk about it. Like, dude, I've got an article on YouTube right now. Anytime we put up an article about Starfield, people love to talk about Starfield, dude. There's a bunch of people like that have been commenting about this latest article. And wait, what? Really? Hold on. That's weird. Interesting. I'll have to look at that later. That's kind of weird. My chat got wonky, man. I'll look at it later. That's right. No big deal. But yeah, that link right there will take you to a VOD where we were discussing basically what was the title of that one, dude? It's like yeah, Starfield's design director was calling out Starfield for receiving undue criticism or something, like unfair criticism. So we kind of addressed that. I mean, I don't really think that's the case. And a lot of other people chimed in on that VOD as well on YouTube, which was fun. It was good to see. Most people have the same kind of sentiments about it, you know. Most people don't feel like game development's an easy thing necessarily. But, you know, in this industry, you know, as a game developer, company-wise, and, you know, developers and publishers have to understand that it's their job to produce quality content. And they're not the ones that determine what quality content is. You know, we are as the consumer. So, if you release a game like Bethesda did in Starfield, and most people consider it to be meh, it's not your job to convince people that it's better than what they have experienced. Your job is to figure out how to make it better or how to do better next time. Yeah, if there is a next time. We know that Bethesda's big enough that there will be a next time. But let's be fair, this isn't like the best thing they've ever done by far. So it's funny to see these kinds of sentiments come up from people internal to that studio, and it get addressed by us as a collective you know, obviously there are going to be Bethesda fans out there. Dude, there are even people commenting on that video that are like, look, I'm a diehard Bethesda and this game sucked. You know? But there are also some people that have had Bethesda blinders on, if you will, and have really stuck up for that game. And I mean, it is exactly what I expected it to be, which was like the Bethesda recipe in space. And I think that for some people it's been enjoyable enough, and most other people have been like, yeah, it's not what I wanted out of that game. And so I don't know, but trying to convince people that your game is better than what their experience is, that's not gonna cut it, dude. You have to make it better. That's legit the way it works. Pretty weird. Oh, what? Bro, God, that's actually crazy. Alright, dude, that deserves a derp. Let's derp that out. Yo, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I just saw a notification for Discord, and I was like, wait, what is this? So I went and took a look, dude. I already saw it, dude. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good, dude. What's up, buddy? Happy holidays, man. How you doing? Nope. Well, that would be a debate. What's the best racing game ever? There'd be a lot of people that would have a different opinion on that. Dude, I was a big fan of Midnight Club. I liked the Midnight Club games back in the day. I don't know what it was about them, dude. I really enjoyed those games way back. But I haven't done a lot of racing games. So it would be a fight for me between something that was more arcade style, like a Midnight Club, and then something more realistic like Grand Theft Auto 4 or Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, I think it was Grand Theft Auto 4, dude. I got deep into. I loved that. Oh. Oh, dude, that sucks. Yo, you should go home and just relax instead. That sounds like a terrible way to start the day, dude. Yeah. Bummer, man. I'm so sorry. Yeah, let them know that your butt hurts. I slipped on the ice because you buttholes didn't put any salt out, you know? And now I need workers' comp and a day to rest my butt. It seems like a good play. Project Gotham Racing. Nürburgring, huh? I don't even know what that is, dude. Nürburgring. Cat and mouse. That was a track in Germany. Oh, okay. Was it in slow-mo? It probably felt like it, dude. That's the way it always feels for me whenever I do crap like that, you know? Yeah. It's like... Nice, dude. Project Gotham Racing. I never played that one, dude. A lot of people would probably even say a game like Mario Kart, you know? Because I mean... But I mean... Mario Kart is a racing game. It just doesn't come to mind for me first when I think of like racing. But it is. It absolutely is. So like, dude, Super Nintendo Mario Kart, get out of here, dude. The game was so flipping good. So that would be up in there for me too. Project Gotham Racing, huh? Let me look this up. Never played it. What year was this, dude? Woo-wee. 2001, baby. Yeah, that's some old school. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Heck yeah. That's the good stuff, baby. Yeah, this had really good scores. Look at this, dude. Metacritic's an 85. Dude. Yeah, that's a solid flipping racing game right now. Look at all these scores, man. Interesting. Never played it, dude. Solid. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, dude. I talked about the epic stuff already. Again, if you haven't gotten this game already, do you need to go grab the Outer Worlds? This is an Obsidian game. Obsidian is the same company that did Fallout New Vegas, right? Obviously, this is a much more modern game. It was done in 2019. This comes with the base game, all the DLC, everything. It's supposed to be a banger of a game, and it's probably going to go on my schedule for next year now. So, you should be grabbing this. It's free. We'll have a new game that comes about in roughly like 2 hours and 45 minutes, though. 4 teams of 2 get together. One person drives a supercar, the other drives a mini color coordinator. Oh, whichever team gets their car across the finish line first one, you can push yours or crash theirs. Such a long track, you only do 1 lap. Oh, interesting. Yo, that's kind of neat, dude. That's a pretty cool idea for a like a racing mode. That's cool. Nice, dude. Yeah. Award-winning PS5 games for less than $5 for a belated Christmas? We'll take a look. Nintendo's holiday sales discounting the best Switch games as well. Look, like I said before, we'll touch on some of these sales because they're still going to be going on through like the first of the year. But whether it doesn't matter what platform you're on. It could be any console. It could be all kinds of different platforms for PC. There are sales going on that are going to be running all the way through the beginning of the year. And it's a great time to get your hands on some discounted software, even sometimes some peripherals, hardware, stuff like that. So if you're in the market, do a little bit of research, look around. But quite often, these shops specifically for these platforms have really good sales right now. And we'll take a look at a little bit of it. We had already talked about that. Let's go to our other search. Yo, Reject. It wasn't even a mode in the game. Oh, it was just made up thing by the community. Oh, that's fun, dude. Nice. Nice. Yo, honestly, like, seriously, I hope you're okay. Slipping on ice is not fun, dude. I've done it many a times, and I do hope that you feel all right, dude. Usually, it's one of those things where if you are hurt or bruised up or whatever, you'll feel it later on, unless you really busted yourself up. But I hope you're all right, buddy. That sucks to hear. So, I'm not diving into this kind of stuff right now, like the 10 video games releasing in January, because, dude, again, like I was telling everybody before, oh, you caught yourself? Just your cup went flying? Oh, all right, dude. Were you doing the wobbly legs things, or you just slipped a little bit and kind of chunked the cup, dude? It could have been worse then, I guess. You know what I mean? Could have been worse. Running on a treadmill. Nice, dude. Yeah, dude. So I wasn't planning on taking time off for New Year's. I told everybody I didn't think I would be taking time off for New Year's. I'll keep telling everybody all day today and up until New Year's, but I am going to take New Year's Day off. The wife ended up getting that day off. We're gonna spend it just hanging out and doing stuff as a family. So it's not, you know, we've never been big about like staying up and partying or you know, celebrating like that for New Year's. So I didn't expect to be you know, needing to take time off for New Year's, but the wife got the day off, and so we're just gonna spend it as a family, hang out with the kids, maybe go do some things together, and you know, take advantage of my wife having the day off. So just understand that I am sorry for having to backtrack on that you know, misinformation in the first place. I didn't think I would be taking any time off, but I am going to take the first. New Year's Eve, I'll stream a normal stream, but that following day, it will just have the stream be down, okay? But the day that we come back, we'll probably go ahead and just start working on our 2024 schedule, okay? So just like we did last year, we're going to build ourselves a new tentative schedule for the entire year of 2024's streaming of video games. The games we're going to play potentially, right? It'll be throwing all the games in there that we want to play that we haven't played yet. Games that maybe we missed out on this past year, like something like Lies of P. There's supposed to be DLC coming for it this year, so we might try to get it thrown in whenever DLC is supposed to hit. That way we can get the base game played and the DLC. That'd be a very cool time to play that game. Just things like that, right? As well as taking a look at all the games that are supposed to be coming out, just like we did last year. We'll take a look at all the games that are coming out for 2024, when they're supposed to be coming out, trying to get the ones that we're really excited about trying and playing on the schedule for those dates that they're supposed to be releasing. And we'll just get an entire schedule built up for what we're planning on playing for the coming year, right? So as soon as I get back on the 2nd from that day off, we'll start doing that, okay? We'll probably take a couple of days. If we need longer, you know, we'll take another day. But I think a couple of days will probably give us what we need to get it done. I think last year it took us about 3 days, but I was building like the entire schedule out and everything. This year I'll be able to just kind of yoink it all over, take some info out. It'll be easy. Wait, what? Oh yeah, did we talked about this, right? Team Kaiju becomes the latest video game studio to be shut down by its parent company, Tencent. It's rough going, man. 2023 has been a brutal year for employment in the video gaming industry, man. What does Christmas give you vibes of most for gaming? You know, if there was like one system, one video game system that you could go, oh dude, that's my Christmas vibe. You know what I mean? Like it just gives you that nostalgia, you know, for video games. Dude, mine would be PS1. Easy. PlayStation 1, easy. Game Boy, for real? Nice, dude. Super Nintendo, that's a good one too. The reason PlayStation 1 for me is because, dude, I didn't think I was going to get a PlayStation 1. And, you know, because we didn't have like a ton of money or anything. And my parents got me, they knew how bad I wanted one. And somehow they pulled it off, dude, and they got me a PS1. And, dude, they got me Final Fantasy VII also. Bro. Yeah, didn't think you'd get... Yo, what up, Ferret? Yeah. Didn't think you'd get the Super? Yeah. And, dude, that day, that Christmas day that I got my PlayStation 1... dude, we were going to my grandparents. I took it with me, and my cousin, my cousin is like 2 years older than me. Dude, we sit in a back room all day long at my grandparents' house on an old CRT TV, bro, playing Final Fantasy VII. And there's nothing that will ever feel more video game plus Christmas nostalgia for me than that, dude. Nothing. It was incredible. There's just, it's those feels, dude. That was also like the first time I'd ever seen a curse word in a video game. You know, Barrett would throw a curse word in there every once in a while, and I was like, oh my god. You know, it was so crazy, dude. And those cutscenes with Tifa, dude, Jesus. Farrah, what's up, buddy? How are your holidays, man? Like, there are definitely other, like Christmas. Christmas has quite often had a lot of nostalgia for me around different systems, different games and stuff like that. But that's my biggest one, dude. PlayStation 1 and that Final Fantasy 7. God dang, dude. Yeah, it was incredible. Trying to unscrew delivery, got someone else's package, didn't get. Oh no, suck, dude. Yo, I can. So this year, I got about 3 packages, dog. I mean, I was lucky enough that I think everything I've ordered, there's a couple of things that are running late that I've still got to like keep track of, and I've just like let family members know, like, yo, sorry, they're running late. There's not much I could do about it. And we're pretty good about ordering stuff early too. But like there's one thing that had a little bit of some customization to it. And I don't think they got it done until later than they said they would. Plus the shipping's taking longer because of this time of the year, you know. But I had about 3 things that got delivered to our place that were straight up ripped open. And I'm not talking about a little whole dog. You know what I mean? I mean straight ripped open boxes, or even like the Amazon bag packages. You know what I mean? Bro, straight ripped open, where you could see it, so they could check and see what was in there and see if they wanted it. You know, I have no doubt about it. That's exactly what was going on. I mean, it's kind of the world we live in nowadays, you know. It sucks, but yeah. And I mean, the thing is, like, it's not people like here where I live. I'm sure of it. You know what I mean? Because as where things get delivered here, people don't have access to that really besides us. So it's somewhere between it getting out of like wherever it's purchased from and delivered to our place. That people are actually getting their hands on stuff and opening it up to see what's in there, to see if they want to yoink it or whatever. And it was quite obvious. I've had things show up where maybe it got, a box got caught on the edge of something and it tore a little hole in it or something like that. Bro, these were ripped open. And like ripped open on their seams and stuff, where people could just look in and see everything still got here. But yeah. It's the, I probably should have. I took pictures of the stuff. I took pictures of what the stuff looked like when it got here. I always do that. If something seems fishy, so I can still report it to him and be like, yo, we got everything. That's why I wasn't like in a big hurry. It's just been so hectic, you know, but I took pictures of everything and I can at least like send it to Amazon and be like, yo, just so you know, we had some things show up like this. Luckily nothing was taken. I guess we didn't, anything that got opened up wasn't stuff that they were interested in, you know. Yo, it's morphin time. Let's go, baby. Oh, nice, dude. Solid. Nice. Random mode, guys. Get them in there. So, I mean, we were lucky enough that, you know, I don't think we had anything not make its way here, but it was quite obvious. Quite obvious. So, yeah, I should probably just send them the pictures and be like, yo, just so you know, we had like multiple packages show up like this that seems pretty obvious. People are ripping them open to see what's in there, you know. Because whoever's doing it, I'm sure took some stuff from some other people, right? And nice, bro. Yo, we're almost twins, dog. Nice, psych. That's so funny, dude. So yeah, whoever was doing that needs to get wrecked. Yeah, it's not cool, man. But yeah, that's why I took pictures too. I'm glad you figured it out, buddy. It's good to see you, man. Wait, what? This Christmas Forspoken deserves a bit of your holiday goodwill? What? Why? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. What is this? Why are they promoting Forspoken? Oh, it's because the game takes place during Christmas time. That's why they were saying that. Forspoken is good. Actually, look, dog. Come on, man. Okay, that's gonna be everything. Everybody's got their own, you know, subjective. Everything's subjective, right? But I'm sorry, dog. Look, all time, it's a 62% rated game. That's not great. Recently, 143 users have, you know, rated it as 79, which is better. So maybe they've you know, taken a little bit better care of this as time has gone on from the beginning of it, because it released in January of this year. But this game was not very good on release. A lot of performance issues. Even the content was like, I think, just okay for most people. But a 79 is respectable. That's also only 143 reviews, as opposed to 62% positive, which is basically equates to a 6.2 out of 10 of over 4,300 reviews. So, I mean, is it the worst thing we've ever seen? No. Are there better games you could probably play? Yep. So, I don't know, dude. You know, if you need something with Christmas vibes, if you really need that, then, you know, maybe. But, you know, go play the holiday Christmas massacre game or whatever. You know, I don't know. I'm just playing around. Depends on what you're into. But there are a lot of Christmas games out there, so. Nice, dude. Yeah. And curl up next to a warm fire that you start with the game itself. That's funny, dude. Well played. Yo, I can't get over the fact that Call of Duty is like quickly becoming the best-selling game of this year. Modern Warfare 3 being the best-selling game of this year is actually, like vomit-inducing. There you go. Nice, Ferret. I mean, how gross is that? I've talked about it. Oh, Blizzard and NetEase are going to rekindle their ties, reports. If you guys don't remember what happened here, so Call of Duty, flipping game, people hate it. This is what's so stupid about it. So we'll go back there real quick. Look at this. Modern Warfare 3, people hate this game, dude. Even Metacritic on this game is like a 1 point something. It's like a 5.3. User reviews on Metacritic are like a 1 point something. They're terrible. You can see on Steam this game is even like a all-time reviews 30%. That's a 3 out of 10, dude. And it's almost the best-selling game of the year. It's about to beat out Hogwarts Legacy for the best-selling game of the year. And it's only been out for a month and a half. Hogwarts Legacy's been out since like, end of February, beginning of March? That's disgusting, dude. It sucks to see this, A piece of trash game become the best-selling game of the year when we've had so many bangers, This is part of the problem, though. So many banger games, dude. Mario Brothers Wonder, Tears of the Kingdom, dude. Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, obviously, when you talk about this, you have to understand that there are going to be some games that are going to be at a disadvantage, like Tears of the Kingdom, right? Tears of the Kingdom's only on one platform. You talk about Tears of the Kingdom versus something like Hogwarts Legacy, it's hard to match up because, while Tears of the Kingdom is going to sell a massive amount of copies, it's not going to sell nearly as many as if, it was on a multi-platform kind of piece of software, right? Like Hogwarts Legacy or Call of Duty or so many others, yeah? And so Baldur's Gate 3 as well is kind of been hindered a bit because they've only been on PC, PlayStation after that, and are just now hitting Xbox, yeah? Wasn't it basically Modern Warfare 2 redone? No, it's an entirely new game from what I understand. But what they did was they basically made it to where it's like you can't even play Modern Warfare 3 without like launching Modern Warfare 2's launcher and stuff. It's weird. I don't think that it was yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Ferret. Yeah, I'm not sure. But it just doesn't make sense, I mean, this is part of the problem. Seriously. Like people talk about how bad this game is, yet it's almost the best-selling game of the year. And there were so many amazing games that have come out. And the only reason it sells is because it says Call of Duty on it, That's it. And until people quit doing this crap and feeding these terrible, companies doing this crap to us as consumers, it won't stop. But even individual developers underneath this game have been vocal about how it's terrible because the companies above them made them do it on a time crunch. It wasn't even supposed to be a standalone game. It was supposed to be like DLC originally for Modern Warfare 2 or something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, psych. Thanks, dude. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, to be fair, let me say something. I think that the new You know me, dude. I don't stand up for Ubi very often. But I think Ubi might have something decent with the new Prince of Persia game coming out. It actually looks pretty good. Yeah, his last day's in 3 days, dude. Oh, Bobby Kotick. Yeah. Might have to just might have to toast him out of office, you know what I mean? We might have to have a big going away party here in the channel, you know? But I mean, you know, the hope here obviously is like now that Microsoft is above these companies that this will get better, but this is, I think that anybody that thinks this is going to happen overnight, you know, it's going to take time if it does get better, right? Yeah, you're good. You're good, Ferret. That was funny, dude. It's just it's so gross to see. And Psych, you're absolutely right. Just EA, Ubi, you know, 2K is real bad, you know, and then Activision, Blizzard. Yeah, I mean, there are some terrible companies that do this to us on the constant. It's so gross to deal with it all the time, you know? Man. Back to this, though. Speaking of Blizzard and NetEase rekindle ties, apparently. So, if you aren't aware, and I'll elaborate on this, and when we dive into this article, yeah, something like that, dude. God dang. Yeah, that's a good one, dude. Nice. So Blizzard, I apparently didn't want to get into another contract with NetEase. NetEase is their publisher for all their games in China. Basically Blizzard didn't want to pay NetEase what NetEase felt they were worth. So the contract negotiations broke down, and Blizzard basically went, well, hey, will you just, you know, do an extension for us so we can, until we can find somebody else? And NetEase was like, no, you know, like, get wrecked. What are you talking about? You know, what a slap in the face. You don't want to pay us what we're actually worth? All this, you know, you're nothing here without us, you know? And, so all that broke down. Blizzard's been like basically just stuck floating in the water trying to figure out what to do about getting their games republished in China. And I think finally they're having to relinquish to the fact that they still need NetEase. So we'll read about this and discuss it a little bit. But that's actually funny. They're probably gonna have to pay NetEase even more than they would have had to in the first place, you know? God dang. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. I still can't get over the fact that nobody wants to talk about how, you know, the company making Blade is the same company that made Redfall, right? Arcane. It's so weird to me that even all these outlets, all these news outlets and stuff, even like the day after the announcement, the day after the Game Awards where Blade was announced, nobody was talking about. They were all they were all talking about how it was just you know, the Deathloop and Dishonored devs. Nobody wanted to talk about how the most recent thing they had done was Redfall, which is also a vampire game, you know? That was the weirdest thing in the world to me, man. Like, how is nobody calling them out for previously doing a vampire game, the most recent thing they had done, and it was basically trash? It was like nobody wanted to talk bad about them. I don't know if it was because they're under Bethesda and under ZeniMax, who is under Microsoft, and people are just scared to say anything. I don't know what it was, but it was weird. Literally heard nobody making any kind of judgment-based call, like, you know, I'm not saying they haven't done some good things like Deathloop and Dishonored and things like that previously, but the most recent thing they did was not good, dude. Is it? I always want games to be good, you know? But I think that, like, you guys know how I feel about it. You have to look at the most recent thing that was done by a company. You have to. That just makes sense, dude. And it's weird that nobody wanted to address that. Nobody wants to address the elephant in the room, as it were, about who's making Blade, you know, and what their most recent piece of software was. Deadfall. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of weird, dude. Let me do this real quick. Yeah. So while everybody else seems to be really psyched about this, I'm just like, okay, I don't get it. I love that this dude is like trying to sue Rockstar. It's so funny, dude. What is this? Nah. Classic PS5 games only $3 in Christmas. We'll see what this is. We'll put this with the other PlayStation stuff. Yeah. There we go. Oh yeah, he's going for it apparently. Yeah. Florida Joker. Yeah, Florida Joker to sue makers of GTA 6. You know? I mean, to be fair, I think, you know, what's this guy got to lose by he probably found some representation, some company that was willing to represent him and go, yo, if we win, then we take, you know, 50% or whatever, you know. I don't think he'll get far either. But, I mean, what's he got to lose? I seriously doubt this guy is paying up front for legal representation in regards to this lawsuit. You know, it's probably a negotiation that he signed a contract that was he's going to hand over at least half of. If he wins anything, he'll hand over half of it. You know what I mean? So he doesn't really have anything to lose. He's probably got a bunch of people knocking at his door and hitting him up, being like, yo, we can win this. Let us represent you. Da-da-da. You know, and he's like, all right, well, whatever, dude. You know? Yeah, he doesn't really have anything to lose. So why not? And I mean, I'm not going to knock him for going for it. You know, I don't think he'll get very far either, though. But we'll see what happens. Lego Fortnite looks dope, dude. We're probably going to have to play some of that. My son's been enjoying it, dude. I think that what you have to think of it as is basically like it's gonna be kind of a Minecraft type of game in a Lego universe, you know. But that's if they touch on that piece of magic, Minecraft's an amazing game. And if they touch on that, people seem to enjoy it right now. I think it'll get bigger and bigger and better and more fleshed out and everything. My son's enjoying it. I've got a brother-in-law that's played it and he's like, it's pretty dope, dude. You know, so we were talking about it previously here in the community. We'll probably throw it on our yeah, that's kind of gross, isn't it? Yeah. We'll probably end up playing a little bit of it here in the community around the first of the year sometime. I don't know. Get a bunch of people in there, you know, in the community, play around a little bit, see what we think of it. Why not? What is this? A classic Legend of Zelda remake is arriving in 2024. Hot! Oh, Land Wars coming up. Yeah, dude. I was thinking about you in that because I knew that was coming right in here in January, right? So cool, man. Yeah, nice. Nice. Go one more page. I'm trying to hit a lot of this news because I was gone for the past 3 days. So 11 to the 14th, word up, dude. Nice. And that's the actual days of Land Wars. So you'll be traveling on the end of that as well, right? Because you go there early. Is that correct? So you're going to be there early and late to like help set up. Plus you got travel days. Is that how that's going to work? So you'll be there for a good chunk, I think, right? Help set up, tear down, all that noise. Again, I mean, if you want to put some stuff in the channel to let people know that it's popping off and oh, okay, sick, dude, nice. I didn't realize you were that close. That's awesome, man. Can we talk about the madness of this industry right now? Dude, we read the day before I left for break. So it was what? The this past flipping Friday that I streamed was the last time I streamed before today because I had my holiday time off. But you know, one of the articles we read that day for the video gaming news segment was Sony's literally laying off people at Insomniac, right? They're struggling. There's talk of another studio underneath them getting shut down, shuttered. And look, Sony's expecting this year to be a record-breaking year for PlayStation. What's happening, dude? That's what I was saying on Friday was if Insomniac is not safe under Sony, nobody is. Insomniac's been killing it, dude. Like, if I could think of two studios under Sony who had been just absolutely killing it for them on the constant, it would be Insomniac and Santa Monica Studios. You know? And here we are with Insomniac apparently dealing with downsizing and people getting fired, right? but Sony's expecting a record-breaking year again for PlayStation. This is what's happening all the way across the industry. Record-breaking profits, profit margins are up year on end again. This year over last year over the year before, you know, but it's just more and more and more and more layoffs. It's been an incredibly brutal year to work in the video gaming industry, but profits are up. GTA 5 source code leaks online? What? Yeah, let's see what this is about. All right, let's stick with these. Oh, you guys ready? God, I kind of am already low on coffee, dude. Let me fill up my coffee. We got a lot of articles to cover today, man. So I don't want to go without any coffee through this entire thing because my throat's a little bit scratchy from doing a lot of conversing and stuff over the past 3 days too. It literally take me 1 minute. Let me grab some coffee and then we're gonna dive into all this. Just a second. All right. Apologies. Thanks for chilling. Let's get in here, dude. So hitting up all of our articles, starting off with Sony expects 2023 to be a record-breaking year for PlayStation. So I'm going to preface this with the fact that on Friday, before I hit my holiday break, you know, I was off for the past 3 days, and I just talked about this, I know, but now that we're actually dealing with diving into this article specifically, Friday we came across an article that was talking about how it looked like Sony was laying off an amount of employees under Insomniac. And as I said when I addressed that article, if Insomniac isn't safe, nobody's safe under Sony. And in this year that we've been dealing with, it's been so terribly brutal for so many people, you know, developers and workers in the gaming industry. You know, it's it's terrible to jump into the news segment every single day and to read about this stuff happening every single day, and then you get articles like this where Sony expects 2023 to be a record-breaking year for PlayStation. You know, yo, thanks, Ferret. Cool, man. Awesome. Yeah, I just feel like, you know, it's getting close, and you know, maybe throwing in another little, you know, sentiment about promoting it or whatever. if you wanted to, is totally worth, in my opinion. So cool, man. Awesome. So as we read on Friday, Insomniac is hurting. And I think that if somebody under Sony like Insomniac is dealing with Sony cutting employees, anybody like Insomniac or maybe like Santa Monica studios like that are continuing to pump out good quality products, if either of those studios are dealing with this kind of issue, I don't think anybody's safe under Sony. And I just, you know, the video gaming industry is it's terrible. It's been terrible to watch it all year long. We've watched every single day more and more people being laid off, while this year is fiscal year obviously won't be done until the end of March, but the 2023 fiscal year is still looking to be more profitable than the year before. We're seeing companies like Sony talk about how PlayStation is going to have a record-breaking year, and they're firing people on the constant. It doesn't add up, dude. It doesn't add up to me at all. I think that, obviously, again, I think an amount of this can be attributed to overhire whenever the pandemic hit 3 to 4 years ago. You know, there was a lot of overhire, I think, because of how pumped up the video gaming industry got. There are a lot of people staying home. A lot of people were relying on online communities, especially in gaming, for their engagement, as people were not able to go out and do things in person, physically, face-to-face, things like that. But I think that you can't put all the blame on that. I really don't think you can. I think that a lot of these businesses, whether you want to talk about Epic or Embracer or, you know, Microsoft or Sony or any of these other big companies that have just laid off a lot of people in the industry, I think a lot of it comes down to bad business decisions. And the thing that we are always missing is any kind of definitive information. No, you know, none of these companies want to be forthcoming with information about what exactly led to this situation of why they're having to let people go. And it's always something that feels like it's the first thing they resort to. You know, well, we love our company, we love our employees, we love our games, and we love our community, but they really don't have an issue with axing as many people as they need to, you know, because it's just a numbers thing. And it feels like nobody's looked at as an asset. Everybody's looked at as expendable. Even underneath Sony specifically, we looked at an article here recently about Bungie. We know Bungie's suffering. Yeah. Literally, morale apparently is absolutely atrocious now at Bungie because they've just nixed almost all of the morale building kinds of activities and things they had going on at that company. And as well as somebody spoke up in a meeting and was like, well, what's gone on here? You know, has there been any consideration towards, you know, the upper management taking maybe no bonuses or a reduction in their, you know, pay a little bit to compensate for trying to keep everybody on here and keep morale going, you know, not let so many people go that have been such an integral and crucial part of what our company is and has become to this point. And the reply apparently was something along the lines of pretty close to, we're not that kind of company. So, and I think that really what you have to understand is that I think most of these big companies in the industry are not those kinds of companies. They don't look at their employees as assets. They look at their employees as expendable. we never get any kind of, clarity about what's going on. There's always these default statements. We read a great article in the middle of the year by Mike Drucker that is kind of a parody on this kind of situation, where you just get a default statement all the time. Well, we had to fire more people, but we love them so much, and we, gosh darn, this just really hurts us so much. But you don't ever get any kind of real visibility about what led to these kinds of situations. And if they did try to do anything at all to circumvent having to fire people, mass quantities of people that got them to where they are in the first place, that just always seems to be the first thing that these companies do. Oh, numbers aren't adding up, let's fire some people. Had a boss who was like that. It feels bad, dude. Yeah, get record profits, fire people so you don't have to pay people. Yeah. And it's just been so brutal to watch and see. And like I said, the reason I'm elaborating on this right now is because it feels so bad to constantly be seeing these. It's like a constant oxymoron. You know what I mean? It's like these polar opposites. We see companies continuing to just like fire and obliterate their workforce, right? And then in the video gaming industry, and then we see articles like this all the time that are like, well, it's going to be another record-breaking year profit-wise for us. And it's like, what? Then why are you firing so many people? It doesn't make any sense. And again, we don't get anybody, all of us that are on the outside looking in, we get nothing. They don't say anything to us. They don't tell us why it is this way. How are you doing so well fiscally, and yet you're still firing off so many people that should be looked at as assets to your company, but they're not for some reason? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's a very, very daunting, very dark, I think, thing to have to discuss every single day in our video gaming news segment. And I feel like I have to say this I don't have to say this all the time. I say this all the time because I feel this, and I'm saddened by the fact that I have to say this all the time. But my heart and thoughts go out to all the people that are affected constantly by what's happening here. If whether obviously we're talking about people that are losing their jobs in the video gaming industry, but anybody that's dealing with job loss, it's a terrible thing. For most people, it's a very hard thing to deal with in many different areas of life, but it takes a hard mental toll. Mental health is something that is affected greatly by job loss quite often. And I just hope that anybody that's affected by job loss currently, whether it be in the video gaming industry or wherever, anywhere in the world, that you find something very, very soon that is better than what you had before. It's more fulfilling, it's a more enjoyable experience, and hopefully it was just a blessing in disguise, but it doesn't negate the, I want to express that sentiment before we move on to read what's going on here. So Sony expects 2023 to be a record-breaking year for PlayStation. Sony management expects 2023 to deliver record-breaking results for the PlayStation video games division, driven in part by strong PS5 sell-through. Sony Interactive Entertainment management expects 2023 to be a record year, potentially even topping last year's $26.9 billion revenue. Thanks to a lucrative billion-dollar digital ecosystem of games, services, and content, alongside profitable consumer-grade electronics that sell tens of millions of units, Sony PlayStation has remained at the top of gaming's big three for years. That could change now that Microsoft owns Activision Blizzard King. Even still, Sony still forecasts this year to break new records. The PS5 did just reach 50 million consoles sold through to consumers, moving 14 million systems in a 9-month period, a new PlayStation record. In a recent interview with Reuters on the PS5 sales milestone topic, PlayStation VP of Sales and Marketing Eric Limpel says that he's confident Sony will break some kind of record no matter where its hardware sales land. Quote, given the momentum we've had in November and a lot of what we're seeing in December, just in general, we're feeling very good about sales overall. We've done some good promotions this year. I will say we've done fewer promotions at this stage of the life cycle than we ever have in the history of the company. We're still pushing really hard, and I think we will have a record-breaking year no matter where we end up. Limple's comments lack specificity. As for the time frame, is he referring to 2023 as a calendar year or a fiscal year? Again, if you're not familiar, the 2023 calendar year obviously is going to run from January 1st of 2023 to December 31st, 2023. The fiscal year for the gaming industry runs from 1 April of so 2023's fiscal year runs from 1 April of 2023 to March 31st of 2024. And then 2024's fiscal year will start on April 1st, right? Let's see something real quick. Yeah. So, like they're stating right here, Olympus comments lack specificity. As for the time frame, is he referring to 2023 as a calendar year or a fiscal year? They're not sure. Most likely the fiscal year, which is the period Sony tracks the performance of its business, which is why I referred to when I was speaking previously about this article that they were probably referring to the fiscal year, because that's what makes sense when you're talking about numbers and money. The company has laid plans to ship a record-breaking 25 million PlayStation 5 consoles this fiscal year, which is more systems than it has ever moved before in PlayStation history. Sony forecasts 30 billion video game revenues for fiscal year 23, which ends in March of 2024. So, another record-breaking year for PlayStation and Sony, and look, I mean, I'm not unrealistic about business, right? I think that if you have companies underneath you that are not pulling their weight, they're not doing what they need to do, they're not making quality products, they're not living up to their part of a contract whenever they've been bought out by you, they have to understand there are consequences, potential consequences for that, whether it be layoffs, whether it be dissolving. You know, we've seen Sony do that. We've seen many other companies do that. But again, I think when you read an article like this talking about Sony expecting a record-breaking year for PlayStation, and then we just read about Insomniac being downsized by Sony. Insomniac is one of their best development studios, so it doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute. It doesn't calculate. And we just don't get any kind of, you know, real solid information ever in regards to why this happens when it's so conflicting. It doesn't make sense. It's not a good look, I'll tell you that. GTA 5 source code leaks online, giving Rockstar a huge blow on Christmas report. After Insomniac Games' recent leak, it seems that GTA 5 developer Rockstar Games has been targeted by leakers. According to a report by popular YouTuber Skizzle on X on December 24th, the entire source code of Grand Theft Auto 5 has been leaked publicly. Jesus, for reals? The leak also revealed data related to Bully 2. What? And the next Grand Theft Auto title, previously codenamed Project Americas. As can be seen in the aforementioned post, Skizzle even shared a screenshot of the leaked GTA 5 source code, confirming the legitimacy of the report. According to the details, Rockstar was also supposedly working on a sequel to the highly acclaimed Bully video game, which has been like water cooler talk. We've never got anything officially really out of Rockstar that this was something that was being done. People have wanted this forever. It's been more like people had noted on like LinkedIn profiles or resumes and stuff that they had worked on a sequel to Bully, stuff like that. You know, it's weird stuff like that, but it was never officially something that Rockstar had noted. Another report on X claims that the source code has been leaked in a Discord server, the name of which has not been disclosed to avoid spreading the data. The fan who goes by the name Agent also shared their part of the GTA 5 source code leaks and some of the images of Rockstar Games' Rage engine on X. However, their post has since been taken down. Source code of GTA 5 was supposedly leaked last year alongside the footage. However, it was never made public until now. This is a huge data loss for the developer. Could have implications for both future and current players of the series. Look, GTA 5 was a game that dealt with a lot of cheating, a lot of hacking, stuff like that in the first place. So this is just one facet of where they're going to deal with issues until GTA 6 leaks, or GTA 6 releases, excuse me. Any kind of game that has an online presence always is playing a cat and mouse game with people that want to cheat and implement hacks and stuff like that. Anybody that has source code, it makes it exponentially easier for them to figure out how to implement hacks and cheats and stuff that are much, much, much more difficult for the developer to negate. But that's just one area. There are a lot of other ways in which this code is going to be utilized. Reverse engineered, used by other people to create games. I mean, you name it, you know. Popular online reporter, Gaming Detective, also emphasized how the leaked source code may even result in delays for the upcoming GTA 6. Source code also revealed data related to unreleased Midnight Club 5. Excuse me, what? Midnight Club 5 video game? Rockstar Games is yet to address the leak at the time of writing. Another developer, Insomniac Games, recently faced a huge data leak. They revealed a fully downloadable, unreleased Wolverine video game along with details about their upcoming titles. Yeah. With all that going on, with all the ongoing GTA 6 controversy, and the Insomniac data breach, seems like the worst holiday season for developers as well as gamers around the globe. Wow, dude. Yeah, that's this was just kind of out of nowhere. Yeah, it seems like that's crazy. Well, just have to see what happens with this, but that is a big blow to Rockstar, no doubt. Nintendo rumor. Classic Legend of Zelda remake is arriving in 2024. Ocarina of Time? A Link to the Past? What are we talking? You know? Thoughts? Get ready for more Zelda content next year, according to the latest speculation surrounding. I bet it releases with the new console too, though. The Nintendo Epic, this might be happening soon. The rumors were fueled after a popular industry insider posted a cryptic tweet. While the Nintendo fans tried to break down the code, there are some credible theories that suggest the tweet might be a direct hint to a Zelda remake. But how far does the theory stand from fact? Out. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. I had a discussion here recently. There was like an article we covered where it was like, you know, should Ocarina of Time be remade? And I covered it in depth. I actually have an article on YouTube about it, you know. And I think that, you know, there are a lot of people, a lot of traditional gamers that grew up with that game and that will be like, no, don't you dare, don't you dare. But I think that people have to be a little bit more open-minded about it. Where if you have that kind of initial thought process about don't you dare touch Ocarina of Time, don't you ever, it's going to be remade at some point. I'm willing to bet on that, and you should be prepared for that. And I think that here's the thing. Ocarina of Time is an absolutely amazing game, right? It's a game that is iconic for a reason, and people love it so much for a reason. It's been defining for the industry for so long, you know, it's an impressive piece of gaming software. And I think that what people have to understand is this is actually part of a way to preserve video gaming history. I think that's the way you need to look at it. For anybody that's having an issue accepting the fact that a game like Ocarina of Time will be remade, it is, in a sense, a way of preserving video gaming history. We have a much younger generation of gamers all the way around that, while you would hope they have experienced the original, quite potentially they haven't, right? Quite potentially they have not experienced Ocarina of Time in its original form. And I think that Nintendo bringing Ocarina of Time into a modern remake gives a younger generation of gamers the opportunity to experience the game, at least in some form or fashion. Will it be the exact same game? Absolutely not. It will not be the exact same game. And I think that people have to accept that if it was to be an Ocarina of Time remake, that they're not trying to replace or make something better than that game ever was. But it does give a newer generation of gamer the opportunity to experience such a fantastic game that they might not otherwise get to play. They might not otherwise go back and experience, you know? And I think that's a win. I think that's a win, you know? So, I know how off-putting it can be to have some of these old nostalgic games for us get addressed in a remake fashion. You know, it's like, oh God, you can't do that. You can't touch that. But I think there's we have to think about how important it is to have these fantastic pieces of software that have been so defining for the video game as a whole, still have some way to be experienced, even if it is in a remade style, you know? And I've said this all along, games that are remade, there's a very delicate process that goes along with that. It's like a tightrope walk, right? You have to really still harness the essence of what made the game so great in the first place. If you don't stick true to that, you are going to lose, and you're going to piss a lot of people off too. So it's not like it's easy. They've got a very, very difficult task on their hands if they're going to remake a game like, you know, and we're theory crafting here. We don't know for sure. But if you're going to remake a game like Ocarina of Time, you've got to be very, very careful. Because you know they're going to modernize it in a lot of ways too. But you cannot stray too far away from what that game was originally also. You've got to keep the majority of the core of what that experience was in there. Otherwise, you're going to fail. And the best remakes that are ever done do a very, very, very good job of that. Had the gold cartridge on the 64 release, pre-order t-shirt I got with the... Oh, yeah? Yeah. I had a gold cartridge Legend of Zelda on regular Nintendo. Unfortunately, after I left home, that's one of those cartridges that got didn't make it back to me. I don't know where it went. I had gold cartridges Legend of Zelda on regular Nintendo, and it's gone. Most of my games made it back to me, but that one didn't make it. That's a tough one. I actually traded a kid at school for that. I don't remember what game I traded him. We were in, I think, like 5th grade or something. You know, elementary school, something like that. Maybe somewhere around that time. And I talked this kid into trading me. Still have the shirt. That's sick, dude. Talked this kid into trading me a gold cartridge Legend of Zelda on regular Nintendo for some other game. I can't remember what it was. And got away with the gold cartridge, dude. Way back in the day. But something happened to it. I don't know. whenever I left home as a young adult. Most of my stuff got back to me. My parents did a really, really phenomenal job at taking care of my stuff, getting it back to me years later. And but the gold cartridge isn't there. I don't know what happened to it, unfortunately. But I can't complain, dude. My parents did a killer job being able to get all my stuff back to me. So obviously, let's get back into this. The Legend of Zelda is one of the most celebrated gaming franchises of all time. The Nintendo franchise has been firmly in the business for 3 decades now. Despite having such a long campaign, it still manages to appeal to gaming fans. Tears of the Kingdom of 2023 at Nintendo Epic was just another testament to the Zelda legacy. Now, it looks like Nintendo has some special plans for 2024. Let's have a look at what the cryptic tweet says and why the deduction fuels rumors of a classic Zelda remake. Nintendo allegedly bringing another Zelda epic to your Switch in 2024. Recently, an infamous industry scooper took to their X account and made the most cryptic post. They wrote, CZR 2024. Now, for most gamers, this might not seem relevant to any upcoming video game project, but there's a catch. Nintendo fans aren't strangers to such coded tweets around the Zelda projects. In fact, TLOZ titles have previously been subjected to quite a similar thread of encrypted leaks that eventually turned out to be direct hints toward a big forthcoming release. The most common deduction fans have made from the tweet is that Nintendo has planned a classic Zelda remake release next year. For context, C in the code stands for classic, Z for Zelda, and R for remake, the theory claims. Also, another intriguing speculation alleges that C in the code may also mean Capcom integration for the Zelda remake. However, there hasn't been any official nod towards this or any of these claims. What? Why? Why would Capcom have anything to do with it? But if the rumors are to be trusted, fans aren't far away from an official announcement. What makes the leaks more interesting is the fact that very similar episodes have already happened in 2023. Yeah. All right. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's wild to believe that there will be another Zelda game released alongside the new hardware coming for Nintendo this coming year. Even a Zelda remade game, especially if it's a game being remade, such as like, dude, Ocarina of Time or something, you know, a big game to release in the Zelda sphere for Nintendo alongside their new hardware. That's a big pull for people, and it'll probably be downgraded and you know, released on their previous gen as well, more than likely, because let's be fair, everybody knows how this works for Nintendo, right? Just because you own it doesn't mean you own it across all their systems that can play it. That'd be absurd, right? I mean, I don't know how many times I need to talk about this, but yeah. That's usually the way it works. If you want to own a game on multiple Nintendo platforms, you have to own it on all those platforms that you want to play it on, because they're going to make you double and triple dip as much as they can to get as much money out of you as they can. All right. So, Blizzard and NetEase to rekindle ties, report says. Again, if you're not familiar with the situation here, they'll probably cover it, but I'm going to try to TLDR this for you. NetEase had been the publisher for Blizzard games in China for a very, very long time. And about a year ago, somewhere around there, Blizzard and NetEase, their contract was coming to an end. Blizzard did not want to pay NetEase what NetEase felt they were worth, and so contract negotiations fell through. And basically Blizzard said, well, you know, can you guys just give us an extension until we find some other company to take your place, which was a huge slap in the face to NetEase. And NetEase said, no, get wrecked. And Blizzard hasn't been able to publish their games in China for roughly the past year, which for them is huge. They've taken a huge hit because of it. And it appears that finally Blizzard has come to the conclusion that they still need NetEase. And quite possibly they're probably going to have to pay NetEase even more than they would have had to in the first place, because now NetEase is probably going to be like, well, look, man, if you want to work with us, our price has gone up more than the contract was going to be before, more than our asking price was before. You know, that's probably something that's going on here. But let's see. Following talks with a number of Chinese video game developers, Activision Blizzard has reportedly chosen to work with NetEase again after the two cut ties last year. NetEase and Blizzard will need to rebuild the team that ran the California-based firm's games in the Chinese mainland and test servers and systems. Tech media outlet 36KR reported yesterday, citing several sources, but expectant players will need to be patient because the return of Blizzard's games to China will likely take 6 months or more, the sources added. NetEase declined to comment on the matter. Shanghai Securities News said yesterday the team, which previously ran Blizzard's games in China, was disbanded this year, and it is unlikely to be reformed quickly, the report said, citing a source close to the Hangzhou-based company. Blizzard's China business has no news to share or further updates. Sinatech reported it as saying. Blizzard pulled out of its partnership with NetEase in November of last year, rendering most of its highly popular games, including World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Hearthstone, and Overwatch, unavailable in Chinese mainland and causing an outcry from the gaming community. Blizzard's licensing agreement with NetEase expired on January 23rd. It said last year, while the Chinese firm confirmed Blizzard's games would no longer be available in the mainland starting from January 24th of 2023, after negotiations between the pair broke down. So there you go. Nice, short, sweet, to the point. Basically just built off of what I had already told you. And it looks like Blizzard has finally come to the realization they can't do anything over there without NetEase. But like they said in the article, be prepared for the fact that this is potentially going to take a good solid chunk of time to get the ball rolling again over there. As big as NetEase is, the Chinese government has gotten very, very, very strict on regulating the gaming industry, and that probably is playing a large part in how much time they're saying it's going to take to get Blizzard games published again. It's pretty crazy. Let's go ahead and we'll just segue into this. So as we read on Friday, so the article here is China approves 105 video games after Tencent and NetEase dive on proposed gaming rules. We read on Friday that the Chinese government was imposing even more restrictions on the gaming industry within their country and on the developers that are based in their country. Basically, a lot of it coming down to huge restrictions on anything that could be basically in-game monetization. There were certain mechanics, like they weren't going to allow. There are a lot of games that employ mechanics like, well, if you buy this starter bundle, then every day when you log in, you'll get so much currency or whatever. It's been a mechanic in monetization for games for a long time, especially mobile games, right? Where it's like the more you log in, the more benefits you get every day if you log in, and if you buy a like starter pack or whatever on top of that, then you'll get more benefits from logging in. And so it's just a way of enticing people to spend more money. So those kinds of things were getting heavily restricted, as well as like limiting the amount of money that people could actually put into their like online wallets and things. There was a lot of stuff that was going down, and this is on top of like how restricted the government had gotten with anybody under 18 with how much time they could spend on games online over the past couple of years. It was like 1 hour a week or something, I think. It was a very, very short amount of time. I can't remember exactly. As well as the permits. The government has to approve permits for games to be published in that country. So there's this huge bottleneck of developers and publishers trying to push out finished games, but they get stuck because the government just only was giving out permits for publishing of games every roughly like 4 months average, I think, and it was only about 40. So there's a lot of different stuff that's gone on in China with the video gaming industry and how heavily they're regulating it. But the stuff specifically on Friday with all the monetization significantly impacted a lot of the gaming industry as a whole, specifically the developers out of China, based out of China. Tencent, NetEase, the big ones out of there. I mean, their stock just plummeted. And apparently China kind of backtracked on this a little bit over the past few days. China approves 105 video games after Tencent and NetEase dive on proposed gaming rules. China approved 105 online video games on Monday amid efforts to ease concerns after regulators proposed tougher new rules on gaming. Video game plays such as NTES stock signaled modest gains Tuesday after tumbling Friday. On Friday, China's gaming regulator, the National Press and Public Administration, proposed new restrictions on how long minors can play video games, in-game spending limits, and more. The proposed rules raised concerns about return to sweeping crackdowns on the gaming industry and perhaps beyond. NetEase, NTES, plunged 16.1% in Friday's U.S. stock market trading. Tencent took a dive of 12.4% to a 52-week low. Bilibili slumped 4.9%. Live streaming specialist Hua tumbled 10.7%. E-commerce giants Alibaba, JD.com, and Pinduoduo, fell more than 1%. Over the weekend, the MPPA said it would listen to feedback from video game makers and players. The 105 video game approved on Monday, which included titles from NetEase and Tencent, was the highest in 17 months. Yeah, like I said, they roughly like 30 maybe average that they'll approve like every 4 months or something. So they really were trying to like compensate for how much the companies were suffering after all these regulations came out. Hong Kong's Hang Seng was closed for Christmas and will remain shut through Wednesday. Early Tuesday, NTES stock rose 3%, Billy stock climbed 3%, Baba stock, JD.com, and PDD edged higher. Tencent is Hong Kong listed, trading over the counter in the U.S. Shares were not yet active Tuesday. So we'll see how this continues, but it doesn't look like China's really backing off of these restrictions. They're just trying to compensate by giving more permits for the games to be published from the developers and publishers over there in their country. So they're not backing off those regulations, it doesn't look like. We'll keep track as we move forward, okay? And we'll see how this goes. All right, let's get some sales going on here. Let's put this back here. And let's segue into this first. We had two of these up for the Chinese stuff. Chinese gaming firms unveil share buybacks after regulatory move unnerves investors. So this is actually published today. A slew of smaller Chinese gaming companies have announced share buyback plans seen as an attempt to reassure investors after the market was spooked by regulatory moves to clamp down on consumer spending on games. Last Friday, regulators published draft rules that would ban online games from giving players rewards if they log in every day. This is what I was talking about earlier. If they spend on a game for the first time, or if they spend several times on a game consecutively, all are common incentive mechanisms in online games. Yep. That sent shares in gaming companies plunging, and as of Monday evening, 8 companies had unveiled plans to buy back shares worth up to 780 million won, $110 million US combined, citing confidence in China's gaming industry and the need to protect investors. Buyback announcements came from on the heels of an apparent softening in stance by China's video game regulator, the National Press and Publication Administration, which released a statement on Saturday saying the government would further improve the proposed rules after earnestly studying public views. And on Monday, it approved new licenses like we just talked about for 105 domestic online games. The shift towards a more reconciliatory tone is quite notable, said Charlie Chai, Shanghai-based analyst at 86 Research. Apparently, the magnitude of that mini rebellion by capital markets on Friday caught the regulator off guard, and allegations of backpedaling on previous comments to responsible policymaking that instills investor confidence has made the regulator nervous, he added. Plans for buybacks served at best to stabilize share prices. Yeah, we talked about all the dips in shares across these major companies. And we'll keep track. Let's get into some of these let's see. There we go. Okay, let's get into some holiday sales for a second. Go into a bit of a different topic for a moment. Love that Java. All right, Nintendo's holiday sale is discounting the best Switch games of the year. 7 deals I'd buy now. Save big on Sonic Superstars, Metroid Dread, Unpacking, and more great Switch games. So the Nintendo Store holiday sale is here, bringing with it the gift of tons of discounts on the best Switch games you can buy. They're going to list out some of the better ones they found, more notable ones, but if you go look, they've got links to the Switchy shop where you can go take a look at all the sales they have. But right here they note that Sonic Superstars is $41, Metroid Dread $41, Monster Hunter Rise plus Sunbreak Deluxe is $39, EA Sports FC 24 is $29, the Jackbox Party Pack 10 $27, Disco Elysium The Final Cut is $13. What a great flipping game. And Unpacking is $9. All right, they've got some little summaries of what the games are that they listed, but you can also use the links to go take a look at the Nintendo eShop, see if there's anything you're interested in. All right, there you go. This is still going to be pricey. We'll touch on it real quick. Big 38-inch Asus gaming PC monitor for its lowest price ever right now. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Let's pull this down. There we go. 38 inches. It's a big flipping monitor. At the moment, you can get the 38-inch Asus ROG Swift monitor for $764.99 at Amazon. If you just have $800 laying around, you know, that's not only an all-time low price, but it's also $235 off its MSRP. Usually goes for $1,000 MSRP. IPS 38-inch monitor has 4K ultra high def resolution. Excuse me, it's a 3840 by 2160 resolution with a refresh rate of 144 hertz and a 1 millisecond response time. Has HDR support, anti-glare panel, supports both G-Sync and FreeSync. Two HDMI 2.1 ports, a display port, and 4 USB ports. If you're interested, if you just got $800 laying around, you're like, oh man, I need a flipping 38-inch Asus monitor. There you go. A little bit rich for my blood, but you know, you do you, okay? Award-winning PS5 games less than $5 for Christmas, or belated Christmas, or just the holidays, or whatever. Okay, a few award-winning PS5, PS4 games have been discounted to less than $5 on the PlayStation Store this Christmas and broader holiday season. Each deal below is only available for a limited time, or more specifically until January 6th. This is relatively close to the same time most of the online stores, platforms are doing their sales. I think the Steam sale ends on like 4th. Epic sells around the same time. So whether it be for PC and you're going to be looking at GOG or Steam or Epic or, you know, any of the other stores out there. There's going to be Green Man Gaming, Fanatical. There's a lot of places you can look for sales. Or if you're console and you're going to the Nintendo eShop or Xbox's shop, Microsoft shop, or even the PlayStation store. Most of these sales going on right now are going to end somewhere around the, you know, between the 4th to the 6th, something like that. Okay, you just need to go take a look. But there are a lot of sales to be had. We'll touch on some of these that they pulled out of the PlayStation store here. What Remains of Edith Finch is $5. Grizz is $4.24. Spirit of the North is $5. Other notable PS5 deals: Hogwarts Legacy is $35. Dead Space Remake is $28. Need for Speed Unbound is $10.50. Really? Yo, this game actually got pretty good reviews, I think. And it just came out this year. Yeah, it's not bad for a racing game. User scores are a bit lower than the Metacritic score, but I think it's on PC as well, isn't it? Yeah, it should be. There it is. Oh, dude, it's only $10 right now on PC as well. Oh, mixed. Yeah, that's about the same as the user scores on Metacritic. Maybe not as good as I thought it was. Be careful. Might be worth $10 though. You know, might be worth $10. Just look at the reviews. Look at the reviews. If you're into racing game, the thing that threw me off a little bit about this game was how comic it looked. The game looks very, very good if you haven't seen it, but there's some weird stuff. Like if you hit a good ramp, you get like these comic wings that like shoot out of your car and stuff, and it's like, where did that come from? What is that? That was just kind of weird for me. But that might not be a bad price there for anybody that wants a racing game. Gotham Knights, $14. That's a much more respectable price for a game that didn't meet a lot of expectations and had performance issues. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, $6. Deathloop, $12. And there's going to be a lot more. So if you're not familiar with all these games, they obviously have the trailers in here you can take a look at. But there's some notable good sales there for the PlayStation if you guys are interested, okay? Classic PS5 game is only $3 in this Christmas deal. Let's see what they're talking about here.
Unless you heard it from me, got it from me, then you ain't heard it from me. All the energy, guys know that they fly.
Oh, Quake. Mystery $3 game, Quake. Cool. You can see the trailer here. $3. After January 6th, it'll go back up to $10. So you can throw this in there to the mix of things to take a look at. They've got links to the PlayStation Store. There's going to be plenty of other games on sale and everything to take a look at, okay? PlayStation 5 gamers can play PS4 games at 120 frames thanks to this trick. Sometimes you just want to kick back and play a game that's been out longer than 5 years, but with the way performance optimization is improving by the day, this is sometimes impossible. However, one PlayStation 5 owner has found a way. Gaming has come a long way in recent years with the arrival of current-gen consoles like the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. As a result, our favorite titles are often limited on frames per second and are unable to hit 120 frames on the PlayStation 4. Fortunately for those affected, one PlayStation gamer has found a way to make PlayStation 4 games available to play on the PlayStation 5 at 120 frames. All it takes is a hacked console and some downloaded patches. So be careful. Before you go, okay, cool, I'll do it. Look into what this means and what it takes to do this and whether or not it's worth the risk. There are risks involved with this, okay? The modder in question, Illusion0002 on Twitter, has released 120 Hz patches for PS4 games on exploited PS5 systems. They are now available to download for free. As a result, a bunch of PS4 titles are now supported on the PS5, including Battlefield 4, Bloodborne, Gravity Rush Remastered, Demon's Souls, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, The Last Guardian, The Last of Us Remastered, Shadow of the Colossus, Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection, Killzone Shadowfall, and more recently added Nier Replicant and Doom. After being tested by the modder's Patreon members, it seems all these games are ready to download and play on PlayStation 5. So the reason I wanted to touch on this is to just reference how much it sucks that console makers are not giving their consumers this capability naturally. It sucks that as a consumer of this platform, PlayStation is not doing this for you. Unfortunately, it is a very, very elaborate thing that is having to be done by community members. You have to actually hack your console. But it can absolutely be done. This is what sucks. This sucks. It sucks that this can be done. It sucks that PlayStation and Sony and PlayStation are not doing this for its community members and their consumers. And that if you want to get this capability, you have to go through these kinds of methods to get it done. This is another reason why I'm not a fan of console. But if you want this, here you go. Online gaming firms to argue skill game played with money is still skill. Interesting. So, the involvement of money does not change the nature of the game. If one plays chess with money, chess does not become gambling. I disagree, but remains a game of skill. This is the argument gaming firms will present in courts, said a source. So let me just preface this with my own feelings about this situation. If you introduce money, I don't care if it's chess or sports or video games, if you introduce money on both sides as an agreement and whoever wins takes it, that's gambling. That's gambling. Which is why you see so many professional sports and even amateur sports say basically in the contracts that you as a player cannot engage in gambling and betting in the sport that you play because it's a conflict of interest. Yeah. So, does it necessarily affect skill when money's on the line? It depends on the way you look at it. So, I'll also say this. There are different kinds of people in the world when it comes to pressure. There are people that thrive and people that buckle. And when you introduce something like an outside factor that you're not normally accustomed to, so if you're just playing chess as a status kind of thing, that's different than putting money on the line as well. That's an additional factor of, that some people will see as anxiety and can affect their thinking process and their ability to play the game the way they normally would. So does that mean that it affects their skill? Absolutely. So, in my opinion, money being introduced to games, whether it be a physical sports game, a video game, a board game, it can influence skill. Absolutely. Many online gaming companies which have received goods and services tax notices are preparing to argue in courts that even if a game of skill is played with money, it remains a skill game, contrary to the interpretation of the authorities. Two persons familiar with the development said. The Supreme Court is set to hear a case related to the matter on January 8th. The GST authority is saying that if a game of skill is played with money, it becomes betting or gambling. But the involvement of money does not change the nature of the game. If one plays chess with money, chess does not become gambling, but remains a game of skill. But skill can be affected by that. Money being on the line can affect how people play. It can affect their skill because it's another outside factor that can weigh on their mind, right? This is the argument that gaming companies will present in court. One of the persons told Money Control. Online gaming companies have been sent 71 show cause notices for alleged GST evasions worth Rs 1.12 lakh crore. What is this? In 2022 to 2023 and in the first 7 months of 2023 to 2024. The notices are based in the interpretation that any online gameplay with money is betting, which has always been taxed at 28%. Online gaming firms are in a tussle over the payment of 28% GST instead of 18% for the period up to October 1st of 2023. Before October 1st of 2023, betting was taxed 28%, while online gaming was taxed at 18% GST rates. In the case of Gamescraft, the Supreme Court had on September 6, 2023 stated that Karnataka High Court's judgment, which quashed a GST notice against the Bengaluru-based online gaming company for alleged evasion of Rs, is that rupees? 21,000 crore. Is that like an abbreviation for rupees? I don't know. Dream Sports, the parent company of Dream 11, had filed a writ petition in the Bombay High Court in September of 2023 challenging a GST show cause notice. They had later withdrawn it on December 6th to challenge the case at an appropriate forum. Delta Tech Gaming had moved the Calcutta High Court challenging GST show cause notice in November of 2023. The GST Council in August of this year amended the law to clarify that all online games involving bets, irrespective of skill or chance, would attract a GST rate of 28% on the full value of the bets placed and not on the gross gaming revenue from October 1st. Interesting. We'll try and see if we can catch up with what exactly happens here. Team Kaiju becomes the latest video game studio to be shut down by its parent company, Tencent. Tencent has confirmed closure of one of its American-based game studios, Team Kaiju. We touched on this on Friday. I'm going to touch on it again real quick. Tencent has yet to state a reason behind the closure of Team Kaiju, but it has been officially confirmed. Several developers are said to have moved to other projects to work for the Teamy Group, also a Tencent subsidiary. Fans hope this will be the last of studio closures and layoffs until the year ends. This is kind of what we had touched on Friday too, was that it wasn't really looking like they were firing a lot of people. They were taking out, basically just closing the developer and moving most of the employees over to work on other projects under other developers. Kaiju was established just 3 years ago and was said to be working on a AAA multiplayer title, which has also been canceled. Several members working for the studio are said to have been moved to other projects within Tencent. The Chinese giant also quietly recently filed for a new trademark in Europe. Actual date the studio was closed remains unclear. Was well before last week when the rumor started. Before its closure, the studio was said to be working on a PvEVP game. The project was being overseen by former Halo 4 design director Scott Warner and Battlefield veteran Rosie Zagorcheva. I probably butchered that. Both Warner and Zagorcheva have now also updated their LinkedIn profiles to reflect the new teams they're working for. In a statement shared by Tencent about the closure of its subsidiary studio, it was mentioned that several team members will move forward to work on projects under the teaming studio group. Statement also said Tencent bid farewell to a few talented teammates. So still no definitive information about how many people might have lost their job there, but there are some, it looks like, for sure, and that feels bad. Every day, like we just talked about a little bit earlier, man. Unfortunate. Let's save Starfield for last. GTA 5 leaks suggest 8 DLCs were scrapped. And we wonder why we never get anything else, you know what I mean, from Rockstar. Earlier, we reported on a sizable leak that saw GTA 5 source code, some fresh code from GTA 6, and files from canceled Bully 2 projects appear online. It was a follow-on from last year's supersized leak that saw more than 100 gigs of content break out following a hack that slammed Rockstar Games and GTA 6. Now, some eagle-eyed gamers have dived deep into the content dug up from GTA 5, which includes thousands of lines of code, conceptual maps, renditions of buildings, and characters, and much more. Been determined that as many as 8 pieces of DLC originally designed for GTA 5's single-player portion were scrapped over the years. The recent leak that saw the entire source code and slew of content for GTA 5 hit the airwaves and social circles the world over. The following planned pieces of DLC were uncovered. They never managed to see the light of day: SP Assassin Pack, SP Manhunt Pack, SP Norman Pack, Agent Trevor Relationship Pack, Enterprise Pack, Prologue DLC, and Liberty V DLC. Liberty 5 DLC. So according to that list, we were set to return to Liberty City, explore what happened before the game took place, and potentially hold down relationships across Los Santos. There was potentially going to be a DLC that would let players run sizable businesses outside of those already available, and we could have seen Trevor assume the role of an agent of some kind. There's a nod to SP Manhunt Pack, which, and this is a reach, might have been some kind of crossover from Rockstar's gory 2003 game of the same name. They're confined to history, sadly. Okay. The more you know, I guess. This is the last article I have, guys. If you have anything else to add to this morning's video gaming news segment, please let me know in chat, and we will address it before we move on and play Day 10 of Alan Wake 2. All right. Starfield. I've got an article up, dude, right now. People are like discussing on YouTube and having some fun. Starfield generates a sizable amount of discussion, you know. It's always funny to see people's sentiments about it. There's that article right there. It's kind of wild, but this is a bit misleading. I've already looked at this morning briefly. This is a bit misleading, and what I mean by that is this says Starfield has fallen to mostly negative on Steam. No, it hasn't. Recent reviews are mostly negative. Okay, all time it's still mixed. So if you look at Starfield, yeah, its recent reviews are mostly negative. All-time reviews are still 65% positive. It's not great, but that's better than mostly negative, right? And that's why this is a bit misleading. they need to be very careful here at Insider Gaming about the way they are titling these articles. It hasn't fallen to mostly negative on Steam. It's fallen to mostly negative recent reviews. That means the past 30 days. Yeah. So, you know, we try to be very careful here about misinformation, and I try to be very careful about making sure that I mean, it's easy to do sometimes, but I think the world we live in is full of misinformation, and you know, it's important for people to fact check their stuff and be careful and make sure that you're ingesting quality factual information before you regurgitate it as well, you know. And so this right here is a bit of misinformation. It is recent reviews, mostly negative, not all time. And so let's see what they say. Starfield was released by Bethesda Game Studio on September 6th, held as it being a monumental, enormous open-world game with untold potential, and it was the first new IP from the firm in more than 2 decades. In interviews, it was revealed that the concept for Starfield was more than 20 years old. It took this long to develop it because Bethesda Game Studios wanted to produce the perfect game. Bit of a miss there, huh? That was the result, unfortunately. Recently, Starfield reviews dropped even lower than they already had on Steam, driven by the sentiment around the game that continues to be considerably morose. On Steam, Starfield sits with a recent review rating. Yeah, see, this should have been in the title. That is definitely clickbait. Yeah, ferret. Yeah, I agree. I think they tried to clickbait this. Starfield sits with a recent review rating of mostly negative, a jarring representation of how people feel about the spacefaring epic. Forever dwindling, Starfield was very well hyped up leading into the game's launch, because that's what developers and publishers do. They spend just as much on the project's budget for marketing and promotion to try and hype people up than they even do on the development of the game anymore. And quite often, it doesn't fulfill expectations. Yeah, unfortunately. There was a fantastic marketing campaign spearheaded by Bethesda Game Studios that took the world by storm, and by the end, more than 13 million players jumped on board with Starfield, but many of those players came away with a sour taste in their mouths, given that the product they invested in revealed itself to be far from perfect. On Steam, the game boasts over 86,000 reviews with an ultimate rating of mixed. However, the more recent feedback, which is represented by a batch of over 7,300 reviews, suggests a more miserable image, rating the game as mostly negative. One recent review referred to the game as a big cup of mediocrity, while another said it's a game that has an excess of nothingness. In a review written toward the end of November, a user wrote, "The story is as generic as it gets, and the gameplay gets boring. Few redeeming features save Starfield," and that's coming from someone who invested plenty of time in the game, completed all it had to offer, and bought into the game's Ultimate Constellation Edition. Yeah, like, I mean, this sentiment right here, buying into these Ultimate Editions and stuff, I think you got to be very, very careful nowadays. Quite often, what do you get by buying into the bigger editions, the more expensive editions and versions of games? Early access. And what do you get from early access? I know there was more for the Constellation Edition, right? There was more. But this is one of the more disgusting mechanics that I see for promoting a game and getting people to buy into the higher end versions. You get like 3 days of early access, right? And what that makes you is a final beta tester, really. And you don't really get much through most games. You're not getting much by getting in there and playing early. I think for Starfield, most people probably felt like it gave them a jump on being able to leave a negative review. You know, I mean, I think you got to be careful. We've kind of fed in for a very long time to the what these companies try to do with getting us to buy into these very expensive collector's editions or enhanced editions of games when they release. And really, most of the time, what you get out of it is not worth what you pay into it over the base game. A few cosmetics, you know,
or some early access, and it's not worth it, dude. It's really not. But I digress, man. It's we've talked a lot about Starfield, and I wasn't really all that interested in playing this myself. I really saw this more as just being a Bethesda space game, and it didn't appeal to me that much. I've liked a lot of Bethesda games in the past, a lot of the Elder Scrolls stuff, Fallout stuff, but this just wasn't there for me. The marketing, promotion, and hype train didn't get me, dude. It just I've become pretty careful about letting that side of the industry work me up, and I just didn't really see it. And I feel bad for all the people that got baited. I feel bad for all the people that got baited by something that didn't fulfill expectations. But it's not the first time it's happened, and it's not going to be the last time it happens. I think, again, when we talk about the budgets that get put into these big, massive AAA games, we're talking nowadays timelines for the development of some of these games is going 5, 6, even 7 years. We're talking budgets of $500 million sometimes. And of that budget, half of that, 250 mil, isn't even going towards the development of the game at all. It's just promotion and marketing. And I think that we got to be very careful. How often do we look at trailers? Trailers get pushed out for games, and people get hyped, and all the trailer is just cinematics. And I've got articles on the YouTube page about the convolutedness of what's being done to us on that side of things in the gaming industry too, because I think that quite often trailers nowadays, they try to play it off like it's gameplay, but really it's very limited gameplay, where you might be pressing a button or holding a joystick and they're like, oh yeah, this is gameplay, but it's not really gameplay. I think I've seen a lot of that in some of the more, a lot of the Hellblade 2 trailers, which is getting kind of worrisome for me. And I think that, you want to take a look at something different, and I think we need to get closer to aligning with, take a look at like what Tango did earlier in the year with Hi-Fi Rush. They didn't promote that game. They didn't try to sell that game to us before they released it. They just they shadow dropped that game on us, right? AAA developer, right? Tango, they've done good. I fell in love with Tango with Evil Within, and I was really worried whenever I saw Hi-Fi Rush, and while I'm absolutely a promoter of developers stepping outside of their norm, I'll admit I was worried, and I was a little bit, off put by the fact that it wasn't Evil Within 3 after Ghostwire Tokyo, but they killed it. They absolutely nailed it. Hi-Fi Rush was amazing. There was no real promotion of that game. They dropped it on us. They shadow dropped it on us at a $30 price point as well. And that game was killer. And you know why so many people played it was because everybody was talking about how good it was. They didn't have to come out and go, look at everything you can do in our game. Look at how good our game. And like Bethesda's even still trying to convince people the game's good. They're going into negative reviews on Steam and trying to tell people why their game is good. Well, I'm sorry, man. It doesn't work like that. You don't get to tell people that your product's good. People that buy your product determine whether it's good or not. And obviously, as time is moving forward here, people are getting, the baseline is getting lower and lower, man, for the review process here. More and more people are coming to the conclusion that this is not what it was supposed to be, not what a lot of people's expectations of what Starfield was, and what Bethesda hyped it up to be, right? I think there's something to be said for, I understand that there's business is business, and I understand there's something to be said for hyping up products and getting people excited about what you're bringing to the table. But I think there's also something to be said for letting a product speak for itself. If something's good, people are going to, this industry, this community, all of us gamers, we communicate, man. And if something's good, people are going to find out about it, right? People are going to find out about it without a ton of promotion. Dave the Diver, I know it wasn't an indie game, all right? It shouldn't have even been nominated for Indie Game Awards at all. But there wasn't a lot of promotion behind Dave the Diver. It was early access on PC first, and then it got a full release, and that game was great, man. $20. I got like 55 hours out of that game. There was like, I think that I understand the business side of it, but there's also something to be said for just letting a product speak for itself. And if it's good, it'll do well. There's a reason why there's so much criticism about this game. Too much promotion, too much hype, and not enough follow through with what was promised, I think. Sums it up pretty nicely. There are people that enjoy it because it's Bethesda recipe. There are people out there with some Bethesda blinders on, I think, really enjoy this for it being Bethesda. But I think we're seeing the consensus overall, review thought process here is that this isn't meeting most people's expectations. And, that tells the story, doesn't it? That's the news. You guys ready to play some games? Yeah, fair. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Tell people your stuff's good. That's the thing that kills me is like, you shouldn't have to tell people what something is, Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yo, I'm really psyched about it. Yo, let me promote this one more time before we get out of here. And start playing, not get out of here, but segue into playing games. Everybody should be going and grabbing the Outer Worlds right now on Epic. I can't. Dude, you got like 45 minutes left, 40 minutes left, 42 minutes left to get the Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition on Epic. Dude, I understand that people aren't a big fan of having another library on another platform. Dude, you're missing out on a lot of great content right now. Free content on Epic by just potentially being stubborn. And you're doing yourself a disservice here by not getting some amazing free content. This game is supposed to be a fantastic game. I'm probably going to throw it on our schedule for this coming year. This is a game made up by Obsidian, who is a fantastic developer. They make great games. They made Fallout New Vegas. A lot of people think it was Bethesda. Bethesda published it, but Obsidian made it. Going back to those times, you know what I mean? Pillars of Eternity games. It's a very versatile studio. Grounded, they made Grounded. I'm going to be leaving out a lot of stuff here, but they're a very versatile studio. They're very good at what they do, and this game is supposed to be very, very good as well. So if you have not got on to get, you got it, Ferret. Yeah, man. I mean, if you guys have not gotten in here and grabbed your free copy of the Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition, this comes with all the DLC. It comes with the base game. This is like a $60. You're getting $60 worth of content for free. This game came out in 2019. You get all of this, dude, for free. For freezels, dude. You got to pay nothing but a couple of minutes to just get in here and grab it. But you've only got like 40 minutes left before the new game becomes available for the next 24 hours. This is the holiday period for Epic. They do this for like a 2-week period. We're almost halfway through it already. But they've already given away a bunch of notable games, man. They've given away the Outer Worlds, like they're doing right now. Ghostwire Tokyo from Tango Softworks, like I was just talking about. Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition. Fallout 3 is a banger. They've given away some amazing, and dude, Destiny, they started it all off with a bunch of Destiny 2, the Legacy Collection. So like the first 3 DLC, it's a lot of content they gave away. So you guys should be taking advantage of this stuff, man. I really, really think you should be. And if you're not, I don't know what to tell you. You know, I've been trying to promote this. The fact that this was going to be coming for at least a month now, and I've been trying to make sure you guys are aware, get your free content. In our Discord channel, or our Discord server, we've got a Gamers Deal channel where we've got a bot that promotes all the free games that are being given away every single time they come up. So, you know, if you get in our Discord server, you get notifications or whatever. It tells you every day there's free game. There's another one that just came up for GOG right now. Lacuna Sci-Fi Noir Adventure on GOG is free. That's a $16 game that's free right now. You can get on GOG as well. Just came up. So, you know, just get your free. Dude, this is a very expensive world that we love for entertainment. Gaming is, right? So I try to do my best to promote to you guys free and discounted software, hardware, peripherals, all that kind of stuff where I can get it for you. But I can't make you take advantage of it, right? All I can do is try to educate and let you guys know where it's at. You got to do it. You got to go take advantage of it. And this right here, you absolutely should be getting before it's gone. You got like 38 minutes left. Go grab this. All right. Cool, man. Amazing video gaming news segment. Thanks, guys. It was a bit long. I knew it would be because we're trying to basically like fit 4 days worth of news into one day here, as we're catching up on everything from me being gone over the past 3 days for my holiday break. But it's so good to be back, and it's exciting to see everybody again. I hope everybody's had a fantastic holiday season so far. I know we still got a little bit more to go, which is awesome. I hope everybody's been able to get a little bit of some time off, some relaxation, some nice time with family and friends, that kind of thing, man. But I'm glad to be back with all of my friends here in this community, getting back to what I love to do, which is immersing ourselves in the world of video games, man, and just having a good time together. So if anybody's been able to hang out this morning, you're not familiar with what we do, this is the way we start off all of our streams, 6 days a week normally. This is a time where time of the year I usually take a few days here and there just to spend with family and friends and celebrate the holidays. But normally we're live 6 days a week, every day but Wednesday. We'll start off at roughly 6 a.m. CST CDT. We begin with video gaming news like we're working our way out of right now. And then we go play games for the rest of the day. We've got all of our previous content, whether it be video gaming news segments, pertinent sections or clips from things that we've hit on in the video gaming news content, funny clips and highlights, all of our gameplay that we've done, playthroughs, all that stuff, man. It's on the Twitch channel. I'm continuously trying to get it all put up onto the YouTube channel and stuff. I'm a little bit behind on some of the content on the YouTube, but it's getting there. And so I don't know, if you're enjoying this, go check out some of that other content, and if you're liking what you're being exposed to, come hang out with us, man. We've got an amazing community of people here. We just try to be a solid community of people that are actually engaged and taking care of one another, and being welcoming and caring and inclusive, and void of toxicity, and trying to just promote a nice, healthy, safe spot for everybody to come hang out and enjoy our time together and enjoy the world of video games, man. So if you can dig that, dude, come be a part of it when we're live. We're always looking for more people to become a part of our amazing community here. So other than that, man, hope everybody's having a great holiday season. Stay healthy, stay safe, be kind. I'm going to run us an outro real quick so we can kind of segue out of this news segment. Stream's not going down. As soon as that's over, I will be getting us ready to play some video games. You guys rock. Thanks for being you. 1 second, and we'll start gaming.